Man, I tell you what, it is getting dark out there. Brian says hello. Hello, Brian. Teresa says, can you expound on Cain and his mark? Teresa, I wish I could. It is something that I have studied for years. I would like to know what that mark is. I don't have absolute, undeniable scriptural truth on that. My suspicion is that it is related somehow to the mark of the beast. I don't know exactly how, and so I can't really expound on it yet. That's one of those things that I'm asking God, and I know that some point the truth will be known. Let me go back to this. In fact, I've got so heated up now. I'm going to have to turn around and turn my air conditioner on here in my top secret broadcasting compound. The weather outside is absolutely magnificent, but this little room up here, it gets pretty warm. So I turn the air back on. This is one of those, this time of year I like, because you have to turn the air on for a while, then it gets cold and you have to turn it off, okay? And because it's kind of cool outside and kind of nice. Anyway, Stephen sent me, where is it? I have this as a piece of paper. I want you to do this. You're sitting at your computer, obviously, and I want you to go to www. Pull up another tab if you're using Firefox, which I use. I like Firefox. If you're using Internet Explorer or whatever, pull up another tab and type in www. Bitdefender, 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 and www.bitdefender.com. That is a, here it is. I printed it out, but my picture is not showing up for some reason. Yeah, it is. Go to that website and take a look at it. Tell me what you think, okay? Tell me what you think. Let's go to Symbolism 101, okay? Number one, you have the wavy line, okay? It kind of looks like a dragon a little bit. You have the words Bitdefender, but what do you see behind that? The wavy line kind of is as above, so below. When you see a symbol now and something is pointing down and something is pointing up, and there seem to be like opposites of one another, that is as above, so below. By the way, that's where the floodwaters came from. They came from below and above. That's where the invasion of the last days is going to come from. So anyway, and then the word awake is there. Isn't it amazing that everybody's telling us to awaken now? Awake, awake. Everything is about being awake or awaken. If you want to know more about that, go to our website or call us or write us and ask us for the video called The Mystery of Contemplative Prayer. I discuss in Bible terms what the word awaken means. Rick Warren is talking about a great awakening. The New Agers are talking about an awakening. Everything is about a new awakening that's going to happen. Actually, it's the opposite of being awake. It's going to be asleep. They're going to sleep the sleep of death, is what that's all about. And it just amazes me how much of these New Age, New World Order slogans and logos are creeping up in products everywhere. And that goes to the teaching we did a couple weeks ago on subliminal subversion and how our eyes are just taking all of this in, and we're just sort of taking it all in. We're not really paying a lot of attention to it, but it's going into our subconscious mind because the serpent works very, very subtly. And Stephen, I appreciate you sending that, and let's see, I know that Patty just wrote in and she said something about it. Looks like a pyramid in the background. You will see the word awakening there, okay? Let's see here. Now, Loretta asks me a question. Loretta, I'm going to read the question, and I am going to read a verse, and that's all I'm going to do. Okay? So get ready, because I don't like to answer questions like this. I just like to read a verse. Okay? See, I'm safe now. I'm safe. You can't say, Pastor Mike said, no. I didn't say nothing. She asked the question. And apparently Loretta is a quilter. I love my grandma, who is now gone on to be the Lord, made quilts, and she made the most beautiful quilts I've ever seen in my life. So Loretta, you remind me, if you're like 25, don't be offended, but you remind me of my grandmother, all right? She says, do you believe that people can be truly born again and continue to use other Bible versions than the KJV? Thank you for the question. I'm going to read one verse. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23. Being born again. Now that is exactly what you asked in your question. Being born again. Not of corruptible seed. And corruptible seed is seed that can be corrupted and is corrupt. Okay? Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of God, which liveth and abideth forever. And so, just ponder that verse, okay? I am not anybody's judge, Patricia or anybody else. I'm not their judge. I've been honest about this. At one time, I had the idea and the mindset that all Bibles were corrupt. I was taught that. I received that into my soul, into my philosophy, into my ideologies. And I don't like, to this day, I still have to bear the scars of the fruit that produced in my life. I don't like it. But I like the fact that my belief system says that the Bible is incorruptible, which means the real Bible cannot be corrupted. That's how I live with myself. And so at one time I believed differently. God, through His mercy, brought me out of that. I have no desire whatsoever, as I'm studying the Scriptures, and I read something that in the King James seems to be a little complicated. I have no desire whatsoever to go, I wonder what the so-and-so translation says. I wonder how another translation says this. I have no desire for that at all. I don't trust it. If somebody lies to me one time, I forgive them. They start lying to me 3 or 4 times, boy, they've got a problem, and then they want me to believe them when they tell me something. I have a huge problem with that. And so I just don't go to the other translations anymore, ever again. For the rest of my life, I will not go to another translation of the Bible. I will never do that, looking for wisdom and guidance, other than to say, do you see how the NIV perverts what this says? When I pull up Quick Verse on my computer, it always has the NIV on one side and the King James on the other. That's not because I'm trying to just really see what God says in both translations. I'm looking at the NIV going, holy cow, look what they did to that verse. That's what I'm doing. 99% of the time I'm not even paying attention to it. And so I am born again. I am not born again of corruptible seed. I am born again of incorruptible by the word of God, which liveth and abideth forever. Patricia, I appreciate that that question. Let's see here. Marion sent me something that right now it doesn't make sense, Marion, so I apologize. Oh, Dan, here we go. Dan says if you scroll to the right on the Bitdefender homepage, there is DNA as well. Thank you very much, Dan. You might want to check into that. Let me do this. Let me put King James on standby over here. Let me share something else with you. I'm going to check Watchman Community. I have new messages here. But let's see here. Pastor Mike, we have your back. I've got so many people writing me on WC right now. Oh, Jill says that the word awake is a Jehovah's Witness magazine. Thank you for that, Jill. There are others. Ricky on the Watchman Community. She has been an outcast in her own family over the Bible translation issue. Jeffers says, Bitdefender logo of the dog is a snake with a pit bull head. Jeffers says, you're a cult leader. Doesn't cult come from culture? So someone is saying you're a cultured? Yeah, I'm hillbilly cultured, Jeffers. Let me do this. Let me pull something up here. I actually have this. I'm going to put this on the screen. Where is it? And if you people are, where is it? I don't see it. I know that I had it up here, but I don't see it. If you people are really good, if you're really, really, really good, I will, and I'm trying to talk and click at the exact same time. It doesn't work out very well for me here. Here it is, right here. If you're real good, I'll give you a preview of what I recorded in the Watchman video broadcast today. Okay, got to be really good though, and I'll show. In fact, let me do this. I'm going to pop this up for 3 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Got you interested. Let me show you this. Okay. This is, somebody sent me this. Pastor Mike, got to take a look at this. The Georgia Baptist Convention. This is the Southern Baptist Convention in the state of Georgia. Okay. We have a family that has been following us for a few years. In fact, we requested prayer for them last night. Don and Sue Butler down in Georgia. And I've had good conversations with them. They've helped me with a lot of research, and they're having some health issues. Would you please pray for them? They said that I could use their name and their prayer request on the air, and I'm doing that. You pray for them. And pray for my daughter Lindsay as well. The baby that she is carrying in her womb is not healthy. And so we are coveting your prayers on that, and I appreciate that. But anyway, Don and Sue were part of a denomination, not the Southern Baptist. They were part of a denomination that they loved, okay? And I know how this feels. You get around the preachers and the people, and you love them, and you fellowship with them. But all of a sudden, things start turning left, and you're not turning left. You're going straight. And then you try to say, well, we'll just hang on here. And then at some point, you can't hang on any longer. You can't stay. You try to plead with pastors. You try to plead with church people. You try to plead with church elders and say, look, where this pastor's taking us is not right. Somebody sent me an email the other day, said, Pastor Mike, our pastor said our church is going missional. What does that mean? And I said, it's emerging. It's part of the emerging church movement. They're going to start bringing all this weird stuff into your church. Get ready for it. Okay? If I was sitting in a church, I'm just being dead honest. Of course, I am what's known as an ideologue. I have ideas in my head that I stand for, and I don't back down. But anyway, if I was in a church, sitting in a church, knowing what I know, reading the Bible, studying the Scriptures, and all of a sudden we got a new pastor in, he said, now we're going to take this church missional. We're just going to be organic. We're going to sit around in the floor with our feet tied up, and we're going to have this little dialogue about the Scriptures, and nobody's really in charge here. It's just however the Spirit leads, and we don't need a Bible either. If I was going to that church, I would not go to that church. But anyway, let me get to this. So this family down in Georgia had to leave the denomination. They got out, and they've been trying to find a church. I don't know if they found a local congregation yet or not. They tried one, and they said it's not for us. And so, I mean, there's plenty out there who are in the same boat as many of you are. But here's one from, I guess it's just people in Georgia. I don't